What's been the toughest thing about stepping up to a CEO role and into an organisation such as the ABC?
It's the scale and the reach. And I think what that means is you can't control everything that's happening all the time. You've just got to have protocols and processes in place, standards that you apply, managers who you train, staff who you train well, and let them get on with it. And it is impossible to micromanage this organisation. It's impossible to think that you can control everything that's happening on radio or every television programming decision or every news bulletin. You're accountable for it. Well, at the ABC, when you have an innovative model, when you have a business case you're looking at, it's not a case of how quickly will you make money. It's, is this a good way of connecting with Australians in new ways? And so we can be far more innovative and we can experiment and we can try things out in a way that I think private sector media organisations can't.
How do you fund what is an expectation with these new digital channels for a whole lot more content when it's so expensive?
It's a problem. One of the things we've found, though, is that you can use this new technology to reach audiences in new ways. And a lot of it is repurposing content that you've already used. And so if it's just a way of reaching, we talk about reaching more Australians in more ways more often. And that's why we've been very aggressive about this online play, just to make that content available to audiences at a time that suits them. And we've found that the more we fragment, the more our reach grows, the stronger our brand gets, the stronger our brand loyalty. And that's one of the reasons I think we're in a sweet spot at the moment.
One thing you didn't quite elaborate on, and you said something earlier tonight to me, which was the importance of actually making a judgment. And it might be a little bit early to make a judgment. You've still got to make that call. Is that, in many ways, the key to what has been your approach in your leadership?
Make a judgment. I think, one of the things, when I first started, I had a 5-year contract and I spent about 3 months trying to work out what the world was going to be like in 2012. I wasted 3 months. And particularly in the media space, it's like dog years. Everything's moving 6 or 7 times as fast. No one really has any idea. Look at something like Facebook. Largely unknown 3 years ago. Now 5 million Australians a month are spending increasing time on Facebook. Growing and growing and growing. Let me talk a bit about Twitter. I think Twitter will be one of those phenomenons of 2009. I don't think we really know how big Twitter is going to be. I first experimented with Twitter about 18 months ago. I thought, what a load of nonsense. I couldn't make head or tail of it. I left it alone, and I started again in February this year. I think it's a profoundly different place. I think there are a number of things we know about Twitter that we didn't know 6 months ago. I think Twitter may emerge as the outstanding way of disseminating surprising breaking news. In my experience in newsrooms, the biggest stories always arrived in 140 characters or less. Princess of Wales dead. Plane hits World Trade Centre. The big stories always arrive in one sentence with details to come. 3 months ago, most of us had never heard of it. Now it could be a profound transformational piece of media communication, and I can tell you the ABC is more active on Twitter than any other media organisation in the country by a factor of 10. I think what we know is that innovation's got to belong to everybody. It's now part of the KPIs of all our executives. Innovation is not only a mindset about doing new things, it's about doing things that you're currently doing not very well, doing them better. And I think the innovation story is a big news story at the ABC, and it's like we're trying to shake off the auntie thing a bit, I don't think we're kind of dowdy and old-fashioned anymore. And in our tracking research, the one criteria that's really changing is that people now really see us as a very innovative media organisation.